Suppose you were a painting contractor and I hire you to paint my office and you tell me it's going to cost $100 to paint my office. Well, the way it works in business, in commercial business, is that I agree to your bill of $100. So when you're through with the job, you come to me and you give me a bill, and the bill is for $100. The same thing if you go to Sears or any market or whatever and you buy something, they're going to give you a bill. You're expected to pay it. All right, so you as a painting contractor have painted my room. When you're through, you give me a bill, and the bill I read is $400. I reach in my wallet and I pull out a $100 bill and I give it to you. Now you have been paid because I gave you a $100 bill. No, I didn't pay you anything. I paid you nothing. You gave me a bill for $100. I reach in my wallet, I give you a bill for $100. It's called a $100 bill. So now you owe me $100. It's a bill. Look on the $100 bill, and at the top it says a Federal Reserve note. It's a bank note, meaning you now owe me $100. It's a bank note. And so if you had given me a bill for $20, I give you a $20 bill. So all we're doing is just exchanging bills. That's why banks are called banks of exchange. So we're just exchanging paper. Nobody has bought anything. And because of that, the law basically says in America, you cannot pay a bill. So understand, when you say that you've got a bill that you have to pay, you cannot pay a bill in America. That's the law. But you can discharge a debt. That's different. Discharging a debt is different from paying a bill. Since you didn't pay for anything, since you're using the Federal Reserve note and you're buying something, you did not pay for the bill. You didn't pay the bill. So therefore, whatever it is you're buying, you don't own. You don't own anything. It was just a bill of exchange. So they gave you something, you give them something. They give you something worth $100 bill, and I gave them a bill for $100. So the bottom line on the way commerce works is that nobody pays anyone, period. Therefore, in point of fact, by law, no one owns anything in America. No one. So that's why you don't own your home. You don't own your car. And once you understand how the world works, it's an extraordinary story, a betrayal of the human family. Very, very interesting, dark stuff that we are not aware of. There's another law that says any official vehicle that is owned by the state, whatever state you happen to live in, the state has its own vehicles, and therefore any state vehicle will have on the vehicle, I don't care what it is, a truck, car, motorcycle, it doesn't matter. It will have on the license or near the license, it will always have for official use only. A little sticker or a little print on the vehicle, whatever it is, and it will say for official use only. That means that this vehicle, whatever it is, 16-wheeler or a motorcycle, it doesn't matter. It's for official use only, means it's owned by the state. And anyone who's using it is officially using it for the state, not for themselves. Therefore, anytime you are going to register your car, you get a little tag in the mail, and you peel off the tag, and you're going to stick it on your car. When you get that tag, read it. Read on the tag. It says for official use only. So you're peeling it off and putting it on your car. So now your car has official use only, meaning the state owns your car. And since the state owns your car, they would like to know where their car is. So that's why once a year you have to register your car. You've got to register it to let them know where the car is because they own the car. And incidentally, that also is why you have to have insurance and a seat belt. It's because you do not own your body. The government owns your body, in point of fact. And so your body is a security on the New York Stock Exchange and the corporation that owns you, and you are owned. There are laws that expressly say that you are a product, a maritime admiralty product, and you are owned. You just don't know it. And since you are owned, your owners do not want you to get hurt, so that they have to take care of you because you're a security on the New York Stock Exchange. So you must carry insurance. Well, I mean, that makes sense if you've got a stock on the stock market. If you can insure it, that's even better. And so that's why you have to have a license, you have to have insurance. You can't get married without a license, because everything in our life is a business. Getting married is a business. That's why you have to have a license to get married. The word license simply means a permit to do something, which without that permit is unlawful. Therefore, is totally unlawful for you to in any way, shape, or form have any relationship with a male or female intimately without a license. So that's why you have to have a license to get married. Our life is a business. Getting married is a business. That's why you have to have a license to get married. The word license simply means a permit to do something, which without that permit is unlawful. Therefore, is totally unlawful for you to in any way, shape, or form have any relationship with a male or female intimately without a license. So that's why you have to have a license to get married. Why? It's because you are considered by law a maritime admiralty product. It's a very big story, very, very deep, and most people have never heard such a thing. But the bottom line is, what I'm telling you is absolutely true. All you have to do is just start reading a little bit about how commerce works, how government works, how banks work. It's a fascinating story about how the world in no possible way works the way you think it does. So all I'm suggesting is that you might want to, for the first time in your life, start thinking seriously about where you're going and where your country is going, and what's going to happen to your children and your grandchildren when you wake up one day to discover your freedoms are gone, your country is gone, your protections that were guaranteed to you as a citizen are gone. We are going to be in very serious trouble because we are ill-informed, unread, undisciplined, and have been taught to bow down and curtsy before royalty. We fall all over ourselves with celebrities, and all we understand anymore is the ball games and the sports and entertainment. But nobody is suggesting that we might want to start reading the foundations of this country, begin to read and understand how government really works. Once you begin to see how a bank works, why do you have a bank? Why do we do any banking? Banks are found on both sides of a river. They're called river banks. What does a river bank do? It directs the flow of the currency, because your money is called currency, because it's a ebb and flow of a current. And it's called liquid asset. And when you can't pay for something, then you're underwater. It's an extraordinary story, as I said, about the deception that goes on throughout the world about the real world and how it actually works. So all I'm suggesting is that you might want to take some time out of your life and start looking at the reality of the world you live in, because the world is growing more and more dangerous, more and more ignorant, and extremely violent. And unless and until the people rise up and decide to take back their sovereignty and do something about their lives and quit waiting for government to do something, because in America, we Americans love to talk about how we have the ability to elect our leaders. We're big on talking about how we can elect our leaders. But as Dick Gregory once said a long time ago, yes, we can elect our leaders, but you can't select your leaders. You don't select anyone. Your masters who own you will select who will run. You can merely vote on whoever they decide to allow you to vote on.